I have no idea. So coming back from Sacramento and talking to a lot of people, I honestly have no idea what the next Banlist is gonna look like. There's so much variables in the air right now, and the game is so unstable that I don't even know, like, which ruling is real and which ruling is fake. But what I can do though is share with you guys something that I know about Konami, and it's been helping me out on trying to figure out what I'm gonna do before and after the ban list. So I created 4 criteria on what's going to be on the ban list. So if you are to judge a card by these criteria, it'll give you a pretty good idea of something's going to be hit or not. First criteria, promote XYZ. XYZ is the current bread and butter of Konami. They have invested so much money in making that freaking new Exo anime, and also all these promotion, all these advertisement of the new Exceed Summon engine. They have invested a lot of money. So they're gonna do everything they can to the game to promote the usage of XYZ monsters. Criteria number 2, eliminate top 0 decks. So there's this thing called first and second market in Yu-Gi-Oh! Now if you don't know what that means, go ahead and click right there, and my friend Wilson will explain to you what first and second hand market means. So basically what I'm trying to say is that they try to stop tier 0 decks where everyone's gonna play, because it will eliminate any space for new upcoming decks, specifically to promote the XYZ engine, like the spring archetype is coming up very soon. So basically they're trying to promote their new stuff and keep the money coming in the first hand market. So therefore they're trying to eliminate tier 0 decks. Criteria number 3, creating a new meta forcefully. So rather than creating a card here and there and try to influence the meta, they can use the ban list to harshly tweak the meta and force a new meta immediately by eliminating, semi-limiting, unlimiting certain cards, key cards. A good example is when Pokemon got shut to 1. That shook the meta quite a bit, because it gave great rises to a lot of synchro decks out there that can synchro spam, because don't be afraid of that one Pokemon anymore. So that's a very good example of what creating a new meta with the ban list is. Finally, the 4th one, eliminating loopholes. So if you guys think about Frog FTK, where it creates a loophole where you can FTK and all this crazy stuff consistently, and there's a lot of people out there who are just trolling with that deck. Basically Konami want to eliminate these loopholes because it ruins the game for. Basically, if you want to figure out if a card's going to be hit or not, just match it up to these 4 criteria and you can figure it out. So let's go through a few examples. Alright, so I broke the cards into 4 different lists, and I want to talk about them separately. The first list is what I call the Crybaby list. It's a Crybaby list because it's a ban list that's almost on every forums, TCG, Pojo out there, and people trying to give good reasoning on why this should be hit or that should be hit. And honestly, just bullshit. It's just them whining and complaining why a certain card's good and you can't get around it, and it just bad Yu-Gi-Oh, I guess. But anyway, these are the cards they love to hate on, and for no good reason, and honestly don't fit well into criteria at all. So let's go right into it. The first one's very popular, 6 Samurai. People love to hit 6 Samurai, and honestly guys, I don't know why. I mean, can you tell me why do you guys want to hit 6 Sam so bad? Yeah, there is a good deck. Yes, it's powerful, and yes, it can be autopilot. But no, it's not doing amazing in YCS, and no, it's not wrecking everywhere in Japan, and finally, no, it's not being delicious in Worlds neither. So why exactly are you hitting 6 Samurai? People are like, well, 6 Sam is autopilot. Well, that's more the reason why you should not hit 6 Samurai. If it's an autopilot deck, you should be able to beat it. I mean, I honestly do not have a problem beating 6 Sam decks out there. There's so many counters to it that it's just kind of ridiculous. It's more like a one-trick pony if you play autopilot and because of that, I don't really see a reason against it. Honestly, I play Sabers before, and as of right now, I can smack up Sam deck with the Saber deck easily if they do autopilot plays. So that. it doesn't fit in the criteria because first, it doesn't really promote by hitting this. It doesn't really promote XYZ. 6 Sam can XYZ summon really easily, so I don't see why hitting this specific thing will stop XYZ. Second thing, it doesn't eliminate top 0 deck. 6 Sam is not a top 0 deck. It's a tier 1 deck, but it's not a tier 0 deck. There's a lot of decks out there that can smack it up. And again, if you do play it, no autopilot, just try autopilot way to win. It's like a tier 2, tier 3 deck. You can just get slapped up. So that's that. Also, by hitting this, it does not really create a new meta because it doesn't really like have a strong counter to any specific deck. So that's that. And finally, it doesn't have any particular loopholes. I mean, yeah, you can consider the infinite counter, but that's not really a loophole. It's like a 4 or 5 card combo. So yeah, that's that. So I don't really see a reason why not touch any of these. But if they do, then so what? I'm still gonna play this because I love this deck so much. All right, moving on. Pot of Duality. I love Pot of Duality. I love this card so much, and because this card's good and because it's so funny, people want this card to be hit. People really want this card to be hit. They're like, oh my god, Pot is so powerful, this and that. And you know what? As soon as Pot of Duality was announced to coming out to Super, all those guys shut the fuck up. Okay, I mean seriously, they all like in unison shut up together. That's exactly what I mean by like, you know, stupid haters. Like they can't get their hands on the card, so they're gonna hate on it until they can get their hands on the card, then they shut up. That just shows me like how ridiculous some people are. Power Duality is a great card. It's amazing. It's coming as a super, everybody knows, and I honestly don't think it's a a broken card. It's a great card, but it's not broken. The fact that you can spam more than one, the fact that you cannot special summon, that in itself is a good counter to having 3 copy of these, and it gives a lot of power to stun decks and whatnot, gadgets, GK, all that good stuff. So I don't see a reason why this thing would be hit. Pot of Avarice. People hate this card because of plants. Again, if you hate this card, if you think this should be banned, then go look in your side deck and see if you see any DD Crows. If you don't see any DD Crows, then you should also shut the fuck up. If you do see DD Crows, add one more. We'll see what happens. The point is that Pot of Avarice is a great card, but it's far away from being broken. It's not broken. It's good. It combos really well in plants, combo really well in Lightsworn, and also it promotes XYZ because if you can ditch those materials of your gadgets, you can actually recycle your gadgets and get more XYZ materials. So because of that, I really don't see Konami hitting this thing. It's a good card, and again, it promotes all that good stuff that Konami wants. And finally, it's a new TG engine. People has been losing to the new kid on the block, and that is TG, as more specifically the Horn of Phantom Beast. People have been losing to this card, and rather than figure out a way to go around it, they have been whining and crying all over the interweb. They're just complaining. I've been seeing this card everywhere, including GBs, TG, obviously, a lot of stun variants out there, Bob Rose, so it's crazy. But anyways, it's a good card, but again, it doesn't need to be hit. A lot of people trying to tell me that this card needs to be hit, and I'm like, why? And they tell me, well, the reason why it needs to be hit because it's so good, and tell me why is it so good. Just because the card is good doesn't need to be hit. So just get that through your head. So that's that. This card, I don't think these will be hit. So next list, cards that do fit into that criteria that I think is a good target for this ban list. First is Trishula, so we can match it OCG. Trishula is a very powerful card, and I think it should go to 1. Hyper Librarian. This thing I talked about in my previous combo, I actually have a lot of very broken combos associated with this card, and if you match this up to the list I just gave you guys earlier, you can tell that there are actually very good reasons why you need to get hit. First of all, by hitting this card, it will promote XYZ summon, because this thing only applies for synchro summon. So it promotes XYZ summoning rather than synchro summoning when you hit this card. Eliminate a top 0 deck, kind of top 0 plants, but not too top 0. So by hitting this, you kind of hit plants quite a bit, and again, it will promote to XYZ. The third one is create new meta, and you'll keep everything fresh. Yes, by hitting this, again, you'll hurt synchro in general quite a lot. And again, that will promote the XYZ. And finally, it eliminates loopholes where if I get this out and I get out, formula and draw through like half my deck, that is considered a mini loophole. And by hitting this thing, it should be closed. So I think that should get hit. Moving on. Warning. Again, warning, I think should go to 1, mainly because right now, if you look at all the decks, the new stuff coming out, the spring and all that good stuff, a lot of special summoning out there, a lot of summoning this and that. So by hitting this, it actually promotes more of XYZ play. People will be more willing to go XYZ summon, not fearing there's like a warning left and right. And secondly, it does create a new meta because right now almost every top tier 1 deck all have 2 warnings. So if this thing go to 1, people might not even want a warning, but they want to take something else instead. So I highly consider that this thing should go to 1 because of those reasons. Moving on. Tengu. Again, XYZ engine, that makes Tengu really, really busted. I'm pretty sure the combo, you should know all this already, how in TCG, XYZ materials can still be on the field, so you can just ditch this as XYZ material and get another Tengu. That's way too busted. So, Tengu, it's a really good card. It's busted within itself, plus the new XYZ engine is just way too much. And I think you actually hurt the game because this specific engine is too abusable with everything, and it will eventually become like a pseudo staple, if you will. So I think Tengu should definitely go to 2, much more malicious. Mind Control is not one of those cards that used to be good and now it's just broken. Mind Control, why it should get hit is because it doesn't promote XYZ per se, it's more to break XYZ. It makes essentially all their monster quote unquote tuners, and you can simply steal their monster and exceed summon with it. And honestly don't think that's how this card was originally designed to do. But because of this new engine to introduce, it does make this card broken, and it does start a pseudo loophole, if you will. And finally, I believe this card will lead to a lot of stolen cards because you can always, mind control someone's monster if using the same sleeve as them and, exceed summon, and when they die, just put their monster into your own grave because you have it as material. And finally, Dandy is one of those things that, also very broken because of Exceed. Right now they have like level 1 Exceed and Exceed tokens with it. So essentially what you can do is you can use this Exceed material, get some tokens out, and then use those tokens to exceed another monster. Too much of option, too much loopholes. So I think they might hit this because of the new Exceed engine. As you can see, they are going to hit a lot of cards out there to balance the Exceed engine they came up with. It's not something that I like, but it's Yu-Gi-Oh! It happens. And finally, thirdly, it's a list of just basic commons we have, basic staples we have. So we have Monster Reborn, Call, Heavy Storm, MST, Darkhold, Trinade. These cards will go in and out of the ban list, extra semi-limit list, this and that. And basically by changing the amount you can have of any of these cards in one's deck, it will really shape the meta. So basically go, okay, we're gonna ban Trinade, boom, then all of a sudden your stun have a very solid ground in the meta. They go, okay, well, we're gonna have Darkhold go to 2, then again stun's gonna go crazy. If you're gonna be like, okay, we're gonna have Heavy Storm coming back, then boom, anything that special summons a lot have a very strong edge because of Heavy Storm coming back. So these cards, again, it's just staples that can change, and it's kind of pointless to argue about that because it's really up to how Yu-Gi-Oh feels about it, or Konami feels about it. Now finally, I will talk about this card right here, Sangan. It's kind of like Dandy, and essentially what I'm trying to talk about is that Konami, as of right now, really need to get this shit together. We honestly don't really have an official, clear, clean-cut ruling of how Exceed summons work. Are they really on the field? Is the material on the field? Is it face up or face down the field? How's it like? Basically, there are so many unanswered questions out there regarding Exceed summoning that Konami really need to get this shit together and just come up with one solid ruling and go, this is how it's gonna be. Because if they're gonna be like Exceed monster and material monster is gonna field, then I think Sangan is gonna be way too busted. A combo with Tour Guide is too easy of a plus, and it's just broken as hell. So basically, I'm talking about Sangan simply because it's just in a way of saying that Konami need to get this stuff together and basically give us a rule of how to play this game. So that's that. That's my prediction, if you will, of the ban list. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, comments, go and leave them below. If you have your own ban list or prediction of a ban list, share it with me, and yeah, I'll read them, we'll talk about them, maybe all that good stuff. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to you guys later.